Alright. Quick little close out the evening stream here. I want that brush, which is already right there. Good. Oh, dang it. I kind of like having that right down there. Oh, meow. Hi, Madge. How's it going? How's it going, Fuzzy Cat? Yes, I do. I'm just going to do this. That will equip me with a couple of towels, which we're sure to need. I love mache, I hate mache, I love mache, I hate mache, I love mache, I hate mache. Okay. I guess up there is where that's going to go. And we're not doing this for a second. I need urethane. I want this thing done tomorrow. I want it done. I want to see it. I want to get the loops all set. I want to see how they hold up. I want it done. It's going to be amazing. Amazing. And I left that in the thinner too long. Whoops. Hello, Kelly. How's it going? Thank you very much. And how's it going, Chris? Yep, we are on very briefly in the later evening tonight to do some urethaning on the version 3 witch orb. Get it done, diddly undone done. So I want this thing set. As soon as it's set, we can make a tutorial on it. Hey, Cheryl, thanks very much. I love sharing it, so win-win. Muchísimo win-win. Figure I would get a last little bit of work done before going to bed. Honestly, just super excited for this witch orb. I want it ready to go when I get going on it tomorrow. May not be till Tuesday when I can finally get it set, because Monday I may not be on. Wednesday I may probably not be on. Hello, Rosani, how's it going? How is your night carrying on? Hi, Samhain. What's up, cat? I got both fur balls in here. Oh, it's cute. That's so cute. Yeah. Alright, where are we going to put this lid? Over there. Not bad. This should be dry. I stated earlier, there's been a fan on it the entire time. Should be dry. Alexa, turn on craft light. Try something a little bigger. This stuff looks a little bigger, but yeah, let's try it. I mean, all we can do is screw it up, so. Hey, Liberty Bell, thanks very much. We are getting there. I'm very excited for Witch Orb 3.0. I'm very, super excited for Witch Orb 3.0. Super excited. Nice. Yeah, there was absolutely no way I could let this project go tonight without getting as far as possible. Oh, pardon. I want it as completely done as I can get it. Attention, the guy you were watching is now alive. Surprise. Probably could be done faster with a spray, but I'm going to have to paint it down anyway when I do the tutorial. Just that way it's going to be visible. So that's all set. That's all set. Side here. Got to get the Burton curl. You got to get the bottom. Excellent. The beach ball pumpkin is, in my opinion, superior to the stuffed trash bag. Quite a bit superior. It's much more painting friendly than the trash bag is, especially on the inside. vastly more painting friendly. Cotton seems to wick up the urethane a hell of a lot more than newspaper does. Consequently, I never quite know if I'm using enough. How's it going, Chad? That's Chad? Yeah. That's actually pretty darn good. Very good for variety, more so than I would expect. I'd be tempted to try a 7 myself. I think if I had a more consistent assortment of them, I'd even use them for witch orbs as well. But sadly, I do not currently. I'm definitely going to talk about both when I do the tutorial video. That's always half the trouble there, James. Getting everything ready. I'm hoping I started early enough this year to get this stuff deployed. I mean, I at least know I'm going to have 3 witch orbs in the haunt, but I got big visions. I got big plans. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make any of them happen. Nah, not really. I mean, there's a smell because it's urethane, but I certainly would not classify this as fumes. It's not like using a spray paint. It's still a brush on, but it's not great, but it's not unconscionable. I'm not enjoying the heady bouquet, but I'm not sitting here lightheaded going thunk, falling over. Yeah, I use the bags for a very, very long time, and I would say that most of the pumpkins I have are bag pumpkins. It was only with the most recent ones, or one, in fact, that I switched to beach balls. The only reason I don't have more beach balls is, well, I already have, like, plenty of pumpkins. I don't need to make 30 bazillion of the darn things. Limited space. Yeah, the first time you paint the inside of a beach ball pumpkin with urethane or anything, you're going to be like, okay, never going back. Never going back. It's just too handy. It is entirely too handy. This isn't a bad brush for that. no nooks and crannies on the inside. It's all just one smooth sphere. And it's perfect. Now I just have to find a seal and stain product that is the right color for these witch orbs and sell off the 2 containers of stuff I bought in the interim to try to make it work. Yep, that is another trick you can use. Just use the masking tape. Not really. Just for the sheer fact that inside of all of these little witchy twists of mine, there's so many nooks and crannies. If I used a large brush, I wouldn't be able to get in there to saturate the insides. I hear you. I mean, I'd normally use a larger brush for coverage, but this isn't so much coverage as coverage and texture. And the texture demands the use of a smaller brush. Which, you know, again, if I was using a spray, I'd probably be done a couple minutes ago, but I don't know. That would involve going outside on the little balcony, getting a snoot full of spray. Hello, Infantry Ghost. How's it going? Yeah, there's sort of a method to my madness. This is called I'm dumb and I'm not using a spray. There's very much a madness method to it. It's called I'm nuts and silly. And I could be saving myself time, but I'm not. I'm also marginally worried that if I used a spray, once again, the spray would not get into all the nooks and crannies. It would hit the surface, but there's no guarantee. I mean, in order to get a spray on this stuff to have it work perfectly, I would need to have like a table outside, and I'd need to have the spray, and I'd need to be able to hit the spray in all directions, up, down, all over, and I'd have to rotate the project, up, down, all over, and I would be spraying, 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 spraying. It would probably be like almost a full can per witch orb, and that, you know, I could afford it, but it's annoyingly expensive versus just taking the time to urethane it. Kinda. And you get that nice old ASMR effect. Oh, good stuff, Infantry Ghost. Yep. Well, the times for them have shifted as well, so not doing them at the crack of dawn anymore. Back at work in a limited capacity at first, and then in a growing capacity further on in September. Try to get these kiddos through the New York State Regents exam, if at all possible. But I also would really, really, really like it if they had creepy cloth back in the dollar stores right now. Because I really want to see what these look like with creepy cloth draped over them, and I'm not sure which of the many Halloween totes I have the creepy cloth is stored in. So don't rightly feel like pouring through all that. Since it's only $1, I would just love to go through. Hey, creepy cloth, here's a couple bucks. Bye. This one. With a little luck, after the urethane coat, it's 3 holders for the ropes. Should be smooth on the inside, and I will not have to worry about any wear and tear on the yarn. And that will be quite nice. I just better not get an earful from my haunt compatriot this year. I thought you were going to work on the tombstones. Shove it. Which portals and which orbs instead, alright? Just be happy. You're supposed to be working on tombstones, not this other crap. Oh, dear. I also kind of hope the volunteer situation is okay this year. Should at least have 1, hopefully 2, luckily more. So we'll see. The fact that Halloween is on a Wednesday isn't going to help anything. Yeah, there's the problem with the sprays as well. They will drip. Drip, 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 drip. And before you know it, you got yourself a problem. In all fairness, the urethane drips too, but at least on this project, with all the nooks and crannies in it, the urethane drips find a spot to stop. Whereas on the pumpkin, the urethane drips keep gliding down the surface to globulate their way to somewhere annoying. But on this project, they do stop, which is very, very, very gratifying. And also is nice because you know that this stuff is sinking down and it is sinking in. So even if you don't catch the nook and cranny, chances are the urethane will find it for you. A little peace of mind for the project. Oh, that is a tired, cute kitty cat. Oh. We played with the ribbon stick a lot today. Both kitties would go for the ribbon stick, which was kind of nice because normally Majesty doesn't get to play very much. She goes after the ribbon stick, by God. She wants that ribbon stick. one of two things is going to happen tonight. I'm going to get as low as I can on this project, stick it over on the counter, hit it full blast with the fan, and do the inside of the big pumpkin. Well, the downside is the fact that the big pumpkin is not going to take that long to do the inside of. Samhain is about 3.5, and Majesty is like probably 4. The wonderful friend of mine whom I got them from did not know their precise ages. I got them both in, let's see here, 2015. November-ish 2015, if I remember correctly. Yeah, hi Furball. You look so cute passed out over there. Yep, so I kind of celebrate both their birthdays right around November 15th. And by celebrate, I mean I give them a can of tuna fish or some other specialty dinner, which they like better than the normal cat crap. Yeah, older cats do tend to do the whole I am going to walk around and sleep a lot. But by that same logic, so do a lot of older humans. So I don't fault them for it. Everybody gets tired of the bouncy crap when you get older. It's just not as amusing anymore. Don't dream about it, 90s, just do it. I'm nothing that special. We live in the information age, amigo. You just hop on the interwebs and look crap up. I want to do this. Who's done that? You've done that. All right, I'm going to do something like that. There you go. So I always end up telling students, I can't do that. Yes, you can. We live in the information age. You have a phone, because it's always out during class. Look it up. Figure it out. Not that hard. Get going. Yeah, I'll say the project was a pretty good idea. But then again, the project was also just a growth. It all started with the witch bottle. It was just something that bopped into my head while I was thinking of that. Doing all the little woodsy shapes. And noting how easy it was to do the woodsy shapes with the cotton. Yeah, Sharon's what it's all about. Just thinking about an experience I had on Facebook. Can't remember if it was today or yesterday. Somebody posted a picture of a nifty looking project. And they did it in an utter vacuum. So just like, here's a picture. Boom. Done. And I'm like, okay. So how'd you do it? And I posted that on there, and they were just like, ooh, I just did it. I used my madness. I'm like, okay. Did your madness involve melted plastic? Yeah. This person was not going to tell me how they did it, and I didn't feel like being a dick and pressing them for it, but to me that's just like, alright, whatever, play your little game. It's not what I do. If I find out something cool, you can goddamn well bet there's going to be a tutorial about it eventually. Even if it takes me 2.5 years, I'll have a tutorial out on how to do it. Even if it's really stupidly. Hey guys, I figured out how to do this 5 years ago. Sorry. Yep, it's all about repeated experimentation and trials. I mean, we're looking at versions 1, 2, 3 of the Witch Orb right in front of me. I grabbed out all the witch bottles to show all the versions they went through, but I'm a little busy right now. Although that's making me wonder, how many versions of the witch bottle go through? 1, 2, 3? 3 before we hit the present technique? Yeah. No. 1, 2, 3, 4 before we hit the present technique. No prob, Chad. No prob. Ooh. Okay. And that is as far as I can go around. Dribble some more up here. I think. Can't tell if I missed a spot. It's all kind of shiny. Yes. It is very soothing. That's one of the reasons I'm doing it just before bed tonight, too. Just a way to... Just a way to zingle into it. Take it slow and cool down before bedtime. Alright, there's that one. I do not want to do that other one. So I'm not gonna toss this with the paint thinner. This means early tomorrow I'll probably do the very bottom of this. I'll probably do that off camera. Then I'll hop back on camera afterwards. To do a whole assembly so we can Witch Orb V3 complete. That's why I don't use glue. I use paste. Yeah. The cauldron sound is there to keep me from breaking out in death sweat. Alright, so in the interim, because I don't want to be done just yet, I want to throw a skin on this little guy. I don't want to go to bed just yet. Nope, 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 nope. Not yet. Hi, cat. Maybe enough, probably not. Oh, really a lot of small pieces. Small pieces! And let's make sure. Don't have dribbly drops of urethane on here. Deal with it! It's fan or sorry guys, I'm dying here. I'm not crafting in hell. I do, Julia, yes. Absolutely doodly. Yeah, some people really do try to make it secret. I mean, some people are trying to do it like a business. Okay, I understand. No problem. But if you're trying to do it like a business, then let me put it this way. If I was trying to do it like a business, I would have my haunted attractions homepage. And if I made something cool, it would be on my haunted attractions homepage, and maybe I would cross-post to Haunters Hangout in some of those places, so it would have my logo stamped all over it, and that would just be, boom. This is the cool thing I made. If you want to see it, come to this haunt. That's the way I would handle it if I was in it for the business end. Yeah, no cauldron's just a fan. Can we do that? Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, cauldrons go burble anyway. If I had a cauldron in here, I'd be sweating a lot more. I guarantee you that. Let's see here, Julia. We just put a coat of urethane on Witch Orb version 3 here, and I had wanted to do, that was my principal want to do tonight, because I am really stoked to get this thing finished, rigged, stringed up, and see how it is. And so I got that done. I have another big pumpkin to urethane the inside of, but I really didn't want to do that tonight because urethane is sticky and messy and annoying, so I thought I would just round out this short little stream by throwing a skin on this little guy here, who has been another little project the last couple days. And actually, I should check a look at his. Yeah, he's got that nice, beautiful, smooth beach ball inside. Yeah. Yeah, this is a perfect starter project for the first time pumpkin year right here. 100%. If you're just getting into it and you're nervous in any way, shape, or form, I mean, there's no reason to be nervous, but you'll never get people to not feel the way they feel, so if for any reason you're apprehensive about doing a big pumpkin, there's nothing more perfect than this little pumpkin. Small, easy, simple, good. Oh, nice. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, I really like the beach balls. Really, really, really like the beach balls. Of course, now that I've torn up all this stuff, I'm also thinking you get really good texture from the Scott towels. I don't know. Perfect's a dirty word. I move on from thing to thing to thing. It's one of the good/bad traits I've got. Oop, I do not want my... Yeah. Oh, thanks, Nick. Glad you have enjoyed it. Yeah, I'm kind of psyched to get the tutorial for the bottle and the orbs out there. If I'm lucky, I'll be able to do it just before summer break ends. That means everybody can watch it right before Halloween and make one in time for the holiday if they want to. I've seen those before. I mean, usually they're a variation on the Funkin. They're just smaller. But they've got the open cell foam ones. You gotta have enough time, 90s. Especially if you're learning something new. Besides, most other folks don't get into Halloween, as we all know, until, late September, October. That means if you want to have your information for them up in time, it's got to be up early for them. Oh yeah, it's one of those the open cell foam pumpkins. I had two. I bought two of those at the dollar store once. I threw them in the car and they got battered around. I eventually ended up throwing them out. It's one of those I am never going to use these for anything. I thought I was, but no, ain't gonna happen. Halloween 365 24/7. He used to haunt a place in Baldwinsville, New York. And it was very amusing because otherwise, you know, apart from haunting season, I never really showed up to visit much. So I always used to joke with that family that I only come into existence when the first autumn leaf hits the ground, and I stop existing on midnight of Halloween night. Yeah, it's about how it goes, Nuchu. Yep. And then some of us just keep on rocking through. Yeah, motivation's also a big one. Gotta get yourself psyched for the season. Cool. Yeah, I got a couple of headstones I ought to get working on this year. Just not hugely psyched to do that. To do it, I've got to clear a ton of space here. And, well, my heart's really on this project right now, so the rest of it can take a bloody back seat. Nice. Are you sure it was me, though? I don't remember doing monster mud. I don't think I've ever done a monster mud tutorial. I mean, kudos, but yeah. You're making the voice noises, Dad, but I'm the only cat in the room. The ribbon's in the bedroom, Sam. All right? I promise you. No, I definitely do not have a monster mud tutorial. Okay, I've got the paper clay stuff, which I at least once referred to as monster clay, because that's what I've heard it referred to as at least one time. What was that noise, cat? Yeah. Yeah, you guys probably talk about paper clay. Yep. Alright, I'm with you now. Yep, if you go to mainstream haunting type gathering and you say monster mud, they are probably pretty sure to associate that with a mixture of latex paint and drywall joint compound, which is very, very often put on fabrics to stiffen them. Hi, Adrian. How's it going? Welcome to the short evening relaxation stream. And the cat says hi. It doesn't matter. Nick, I just want to make sure I clarify what you were talking about. As long as I know what you mean, I don't care what you say. Wow. Yeah, right. This should really be a fun little pumpkin. some point I had to go back through the pumpkin stuff as well. Do the big FAQ. How much does it cost? How long does it take? What kind of cat do you need? Hello? Yeah, I didn't know if I was gonna, but I really want this thing done. I want to final stage it, see it completed form, Voltron assembled and all that. Meow. What? What? Ugh. Alright, fine. And thank you, Nick. Yep, Hattie was the second pumpkin I ever did. Oh, I'm gonna peter out after this. Turn on audiobook and slip into some sweet dreams, hopefully. What? The laser is out. The laser is out, Furball. You were meowing. Now the laser is out. Don't tell me you're not all sorts of prissy pleased. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Good cat. Yeah, it helps sometimes to tease the cotton out first. Because otherwise you dip that in there and it really just takes forever. Yeah. Which one, Adrian? Which one? That guy? He hasn't made a new video in like 2 years. There's no way he's live. Yeah, drying time is always a huge bummer. Well, when you don't have multiple projects going. Any. Pumpkins, week and a half. Witch bottle, 4 hours. These things, 2 days. Mostly. On average. Plus there's drying time and all that. Drying time is the biggest time sink in the whole biz. Cool, Nick. Very cool. Halloween's one of my one constants. Other stuff I like into and out of the year, out and around and about, but Halloween I always like. Wow. You just saw the laser cat. Be happy for a little while, for God's sakes. Yep. Hi, Denise. Yep, you're here for the short little evening stream. Nice. Oh dear. I should have torn these up a little bit more beforehand. Oh, nice, nice. Dragon Project's a very fun one. Very, very, very fun one. A lot of people have made some very amazing stuff. Oh, tree bark. Well, it's funny. I've seen some people do amazing tree bark, but nobody has yet divulged their super secrets to me. Most of the tree bark that I have seen has been styrofoam and hot tool of some sort. I think some of the better tree bark I have seen has been by an Australian guy by the name of Gary Fay. If you go on YouTube and look him up, he's got some really good tree bark. But I have no idea. Hello, beautiful wife, Jess. I am definitely live. This can't be a recording because I just said that. And my cat is saying hello too, so you know it's for real. Well, we're going to live stream bunches of it. I just enjoy having a live stream going so I have people to chat with while I craft. This is a damn sight better than sitting here alone getting things done. One's a chore, the other's a social activity. Oh, how to eliminate mold. I wish I had a great method to tell you. I have never had my mache start moldering. If I did find a layer of mold, what I would probably do is I'd go looking for some sort of commercial anti-mold product. No problem, Nick. No problem at all. I mean, generally with mold, fundamentally, the mold will grow when there is moisture. If you manage to re-dry it, the mold growth will halt. Now, the problem is, before it halts, the mold will very, very often spore. And if you are allergic or have problems or don't want it spreading, you don't want it sporing. So, but if I found a whole bunch of it in my projects, I would go look for a mold remover and I'd spray it on there and probably give it whatever time the mold remover asked for, dry the hell out of it, and then reseal it. Just be careful with bleach, because if you've got any paint on there, you could end up bleaching out your paint job. If you're not worried about that, go for it. But be aware that is a potential consequence of bleach. Haven't been sealed or painted? Go for it then! I'm guessing bleach will work. I mean, the other thing you can do is just simply Google it. I am sure somebody out there has got the super nuclear, tactical nuclear weapon for getting bleach off of paper mache. Guarantee it. I would straight up Google that. Or enter it into a YouTube search. There'll be some crafter out there who says, "Hi, here's my project. As you can see, it's covered in mold. Watch this." Boom! But sadly, I have no direct experience with it. No, Nutri, just the one fan. That's it. Keeping me cool. Have a good one, Adrian. Yeah, you gotta make these things spicy. How's it going, Angela? If they're not spicy, why the hell would anybody watch them? kind of the same philosophy with teaching. Alright, you take your paper mache and then nope, I've already changed the station. Sorry, done. Yeah, version 3.0 Witch Ball. Super stoked. Quite frankly, it's the main reason I'm on right now. I want this thing finalized. I am burning to see it in its finished final form. Absolutely burning. Super burning. Because I think it is going to look amazing. I'll throw the polyfill in there. Some part of my brain is still wondering if there's a better solution than the polyfill, but I think the polyfill is, for the moment, still the best idea I've got. You very could well make a creepy Cinderella coach out of it. Okay. Get some bets? No, you just want the ribbon. Evil little furball. Yep, paper mache clip clay sticks to darn near anything. I had to pry it off a glass earlier today. Stuck solidly to bottle glass. And I didn't think it was going to do that. I thought a little force and it would pop right off. Nope! Had to get the X-Acto knife and lever it off. Yep, little micro pumpkin fun project here is coming out quite well. I'm about to work on the face a bit. I don't think I'm going to really heavily skin the teeth though, because they're really, really small. It's not going to be that heavily noticeable. The paper clay recipe is in the video. I don't have it anywhere else, and the only website that I've got is just that that Facebook page for my haunt. I do not know much in the way of web coding and HTML and all that stuff, and I am not going to take the time to learn how to do it to make a special web page. So it's in the videos, and it's the same recipe Stalloween uses. So plus, I think I wrote it on the YouTube video's description, so it's right there. It's all accessible. Oh, can I link the website? Oh, sorry. I thought it was like, you can link the website. It's like, wait a minute. Possibly. I may be able to do that, but the chat will be killed at that point. Angela, just do a search for, or look at my YouTube site. Check out playlists. There is the pumpkin mache tutorial. One of the videos is paper clay and something else. And if you look there in the description, you should see the recipe for the clay. I don't have the toilet paper recipe. No, that is Ultimate Paper Mache. And for that one, if you do a YouTube search for paper clay, one of the people whose videos will come up will be Ultimate Paper Mache. And that's that one. Her recipe is going to call for linseed oil, though, which makes it very good, but takes it for flip ever to dry. Okay. That will also work. Hi, cat! Hello, what are you doing? You're meowing. Yes. You're constantly meowing. We will play. We will play. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, ultimate paper mache. Very nicely. Beautiful detail in her work. And that toilet paper clay will hold detail about 1,000 times better than the cellulose fiber. Just won't layer very well. Yep, unhinged will also do very well. Yep, my clay is pretty good. Pretty good. My clay is great for bulk and big shapes. If you want big furrowed brows and a pumpkin, my clay will get you that rapidly and with minimal problems. But again, their stuff is much better for detail. I can't say I've used unhinged recipe before. Mine's just a copy of Style of Me anyway. So besides, once you've been doing this long enough, you stop using recipes. You just go flour, glue, water, mix, cornstarch, maybe. Fluff, 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 and done. Oh yeah, joint compound. And if you're not doing that now, believe me, you will be at some point. You'll have done so many projects. They'll just be this stuff, this stuff, this stuff. Mix it, fine, looks good, done. Yep. My clay is not bad. Not Stalin's clay. I mean, who are we kidding here? Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I've seen a lot of folks have sent me pictures of the pumpkins they made after doing my stuff, and they are phenomenal. I always call them my grandkids. I love seeing pictures of my grandkids. The pumpkins are carved when they're still in the mache step. So you do mache layering with newspaper and paste, just as you would a normal, kindergarten solar school or solar system type project. After that is done, you have about usually 6 layers for a full-size pumpkin. Then you start to add your clay in every area except the face, so you build up the strength of the pumpkin. Once you've got that on and it's more or less dried, well, it has to be dried actually, then you move to the area that you want to be the face, and you draw your face on, and you paper clay around it. Then you carve out your face, and you are only at that point carving the mache. You're only carving paper mache layers, which is still no slouch, especially on a full-size pumpkin, as you're usually carving through 6 layers of mache, but carving through paper clay is like carving through iron, because the stuff is incredibly tough and resilient. So that's more or less how you get your stuff carved. And then once that's out of there, then you grab your additional paper clay and add all your detail to the face. And color yourself a happy pumpkin. Yeah. And it's in the tutorials if you want to see it. That part is still true, despite the modifications that I have made over time. Methodology is the same. You'll have a little trouble finding it, Denise. It hasn't been made yet. There is no direct tutorial for the witch orbs yet, because we have only just made them. If you want the tutorial for the witch orbs, the closest thing to do is skim through the last couple days worth of live streams, because that's the only place I've been making them. They are coming out really well. I'm very, very happy with the witch orbs. I mean, let's face it, the witch orbs and the witch bottles are awesome. I don't like tooting my own horn, but I love these projects. J'adore. Time is always a trick, particularly if you got a busy life. I'm very lucky in that I'm a teacher and I've got the summer holidays to goof off on. The part of that is also fun because I get to drive my father nuts. You should get a job over the summer. Yeah, Dad, I should. You know what I'm going to do, Dad? I'm going to sit in front of my computer. I'm going to craft things and do nothing. Because I can. Oh, poor Dad. I might, Ancient. I might. We'll see. I must confess I am not eager and anxious and chomping at the bit to add more things to my plate as far as this stuff goes. It's a hobby, not a chore. The instant it becomes a chore, I will stop doing it for a while and take a break. Until it becomes fun again. Yeah, inspiration's tough. I got mine by live streaming again, so. Everybody's got to find their way. So what's your project been, Denise? Or is it just the whole haunt that you're working on? I kind of wish that would dry up a little faster. Let's give that a few seconds in front of the fan and see if we can't coax it into drying. Thank you, Krios. 6-foot dragon head and wings. Woo! Yeah, that's a big thing to bite off and chew. I don't know why I'm talking about a fan. I own a heat gun, for God's sakes. Woo. Yep, that sounds really good. The dragon head alone is a tough project. Add wings to it, that really does become a heck of a challenge. Yeah, those fire and ice lights are a lot of fun. And they work great. We use them quite a bit in our haunt. Indeed, Nick. Indeed. That's a channel I gotta check out. Lots of folks have been talking about Creative Mom. Though sadly, that does make me think of one picture on Facebook. Somebody had a fog machine that they obviously had a green light on. They showed a video of the fog coming out green. Somebody posted a comment, "How'd you make the fog green?" The green light on the fog, you idiot. Come on. Ah, yeah, there we go. That takes the guesswork out. Nice. Do I still have mine, Rosani, or the other folks? I never get rid of my props. We just cycle them. That is going to fall over, and it's going to hit my arm, and I'm going to get burned. I've seen this movie before. I know how it ends. Yeah. Thanks, Lulu. We're having a good time with it. Laying down a little bit more love on this little guy. I might check that a little bit. If that thing is dry, it shouldn't be dry. It has no right to be dry. There's no way it will be dry when I check it. But if it is, I'll flip it over and do the bottom. I do not sell my stuff. Even my stuff just goes into the reserve
to be rotated on to a different year. Occasionally I will give things away, but I don't sell anything. I would love to rent a storage building for my Halloween props. Just don't have that many. I'll get a fair few. Doesn't really demand a full building. Nice, don't you? Very nice. It's cool when you can donate stuff like that. Oh, tiny pieces, tiny pieces. 11:37 p.m. It's getting close to midnight. This cat wants to play with ribbons before we go to bed. I know it. I want a huge drink of water. Nice. Well, my parents always liked and appreciated Halloween, but certainly weren't Halloween fanatics at all. They raised a fanatic, but they themselves are not. That's the way how it goes when you're a kid, though. You're old enough to do more than just fetch and carry. Here, do all the things! No, I think he got the point that we are not playing stuff right now. We will later. Furball. We will later. But not right now. He's a bit of an idiot, but he's not that dumb. Nice. It's be nice to have that kind of energy. I would never be able to do any kind of wedding stuff on Halloween night. I'd be too exhausted after handling all the trick-or-treaters and haunt setup, haunt breakdown. Way too exhausted. Joined together on this blessed Easter night full of ghouls, goblins, and zombies. That's half the fun of a wedding. Getting a little toasty. I kind of missed my glass of wine while I was doing crafting. Do you? Do you? Yes, fine, you're married. Kiss her. And do the short version. Hey, Samhain, can you get me the water out of the fridge? Spaceballs, Angela. Spaceballs. Alright, we're gonna do the short version. Do you? Yes. Do you? Yes. Fine, you're married. Kiss her. Well, dude, Denise, I'm not too much longer behind you. I'll do my pumpkin impression here in about 15-20 minutes, in case unless by some miracle that thing is dry. Yep. I haven't seen Spaceballs in a long time. Maybe we'll download that tonight and fall asleep to it. Cool. Good night, Denise. Have a good one. Catch you next time through the pumpkin patch. There you go. I agree, Samoan. I am being kept up only by the fact that I only have about half a jaw and maybe a bottom half of a witch orb to do. And otherwise, I am totally ready for bedtime. I'll see if I can do laundry early tomorrow because I want to see if I can look at that house. Which I'll never be able to bid on because the auction's going to go way too high on it, but I'd like to see it. Yep, Chris, a house. Little house here in Norwich that's a house flipper bought it, put in all new hardwood floors, windows, good stuff. It was for sale for $55,000, but the problem with the place is it's in a flood zone, so you'd be paying more in flood insurance on the darn thing than you would on the mortgage. And eventually, though, the house flipper couldn't move it, so the bank repossessed it, and it's going to be auctioned this coming Wednesday. So, oh, yeah, I'm not going to get it, Angel. Not a chance. Well, $55,000 on this place would have been what it was going for before it went through foreclosure and auction. But the problem again with this house is that it's in the flood zone, which means that while you carry a mortgage on it, you have to have flood insurance on it. And flood insurance is hideously, hideously expensive. So, kind of the place you wouldn't want to get anyways. But I'm curious as to how much it will go for. Kind of the only reason I want to go to the auction is that rare, win the lotto hope of, maybe I'll go to the auction and I'll be like the only person there, and well, you just live in one of those areas. I live in a low-income kind of county. We ain't got lots of cash in here, and consequently, housing's pretty cheap by comparison. Well, it's not going to happen, Nushu, but I'm going to just, what if I won the lotto and go to the auction? There'll be other people there. It'll go for probably anywhere between 10 to 15 grand, I am willing to bet. And although I would love to have a house for 10 to 15 grand, I don't have that much on hand, so that ain't gonna happen. Yep, dreaming's cheap. And it's right across the road, so going to the auction is cheap. Walk in, like, guys, I really want this place. I really want to have a nice, cheap house. Come on. I mean, how badly do you need this place versus how badly I want this place? Come on. Yep. Hey, would be nice. Yeah, in a case like that, Lou, the only thing I'd have to worry about is if the auction had a reserve on it. Because, if the house has a $10,000 reserve and I go up, and I'm the only one who shows up and I bid $1, I ain't getting it. Yep. Here's hoping. But like I said, it's cheap to go. Very, very, very cheap to go. Good stuff, Nick. Yep, keep on rocking your stuff and you'll always have stuff to be proud of. It all grows. Good night, my man. Have a good one. Alright, let's hook this up a little bit. So this little guy is going to need... I am not going full weatherproofing on this guy. He's just a tiny little happy project. Maybe I'll bring him to school and put him on my desk. Yes. There's no age limit on art. One of the things I love about it. My grandmother took up watercolor painting when she was well into her 70s. Had a grand old time with it. Yep. I wish I'd picked this stuff up earlier in life. I'd be having a better time with it. No problem, Tree Ghost. Have a good one. There you go. Precisely, Kelly. Precisely. Apples are for losers. Do you even Halloween? I mean, come on. That is not dry, so we will not be doing the bottom tonight. And that means that we are going to be very, very, very shortly going to bed. So we'll let the witch orb dry. We'll let the tiny pumpkin dry. We'll let the kitty cat dry. Night, Lulu. Let me drown. I'm gonna get a big old drink of water. Thirsty, thirsty, thirsty. I'm using those drink mixes lately. I think I'm gonna get away from them and just start rolling straight water for a while. Because I like them, but I've been noticing kind of a cloying, sweet taste in my mouth. And that's been, quite frankly, a little bit gross. I don't like it. Yep, so we don't go water. Pure, clean water. Until that stops. There's always something in the water. Nah, the town water is in pretty good shape. We'll be alright. Uh-oh, Angela. Ugh. Sorry to offset. Well, I mean, at the very least, you can go back and watch the earlier stream for the day. See, it won't be completely off. It just won't be live, is all. Well, at any rate, everybody, have a wonderful evening. Angela, I hope your crafting goes phenomenally. But I am going to go grab some water, play with this cat for a little while, and get my rear to sleep. And then tomorrow we'll take this witch orb and do the last little bits on the bottom and make it all set and beautiful and amazing, and see how it comes out in its fully final form. And then we're probably going to have to start some tutorial videos and get them all set. Good night, everybody, and thank you for joining me. Really appreciate it. Take care. Whoop. All right, stuff in the fridge. Stuff in the fridge. We're going to get the fan over there. Hi, cat. Yes, moving. Good boy. You moved away from the fridge door before I even say cat move away from the fridge door. You're amazing. You are such a smart little furball. Look at you, you're so smart. You're so smart, yes. Yes, you're so smart, you're gonna knock that whole pile of boxes over. Good boy. Alright, fan on.
Fan height. Alexa, turn off the craft light. Chat. Let's go. Turn off the stream before everybody yells about the fan.